What's up, everybody? This is Whiskey in the Six. I'm Rob, doing a, as Ralphie would call it, malternative today with some tequila in front of me. On my right, I have the Casamigos Anejo. It says on the bottle 100% tequila agave. I don't know if there's any additives to this one, and I don't think there is, to be honest with you. On my left, I have the Herradura Ultra Anejo. It's actually not an Ultra, it's just called Herradura Ultra, but it's an Anejo. So it's a Cristalino, as you can tell. The color is clear, and the reason for that is after production, after aging, they filter it with, I believe, charcoal, but I know it's filtered and they filter out the color. It also removes a lot of that oakiness that you would get from a typical anejo. I really enjoy this one. They do, for the tequila purists, they do add some agave pulp, so I don't know if this jives well with a lot of people that are tequila purists. I don't think it would, to be honest with you. I think that's a page out of the Clase Azul book. They do that a little bit, or something similar to that anyway. But if you compare the price of Clase Azul versus this Ultra, I'm gonna say that this is probably my favorite tequila and the best buy, bang for your buck. And I'm gonna tell you why in just a sec. So I'm gonna start over here on my right to the Casamigos Anejo. This one is George Clooney's company, all right? And probably translates best to, like, if you're a whiskey drinker, you probably would gravitate more toward, I think, this one. You do get that oakiness, lots of vanilla. It's 100% blue agave, as I said. 40%. You don't really find too many tequilas that are above 40% in North America anyway. In Mexico, that's a different story. You will find more higher ABV tequilas. So this one shines more on the nose as opposed to the palate, in my opinion. Still very good, about $100 Canadian, depending on where you are in Canada. Cheaper in Alberta, of course. I think it's a little bit over $100 at the LCBO now. When I purchased this was about $90, and it's gone up pretty much immediately from when I bought it at the LCBO. It's gone up to, I think, about $110 if I'm not mistaken. Maybe closer to 100, not exactly sure, but that's at the LCBO. In the States, you could probably find this for around $80, maybe cheaper. Very good. I'm gonna give it one more sip and then give this one a mark. Okay, so pretty oaky on the palate, and due to the climate in Mexico, that's where you're getting all that, because I believe an anejo only has to be just over 12 months of aging. So this is about a year old, or just over anyway, at least, and it's super oaky. I wouldn't classify that as like a whiskey kind of oak, but it's almost there. It's pretty close, maybe a younger whiskey. And to be honest with you, when I'm drinking a tequila, I really want to get that agave forward flavor. So when you move toward the anejos, you move away from that agave, and I prefer, for that reason, reposados or this on my left here, and I'll tell you why in just a sec. But I'm gonna give this one about an 80, okay? So that, like, you can translate that into my whiskey marks as well. Good. I wouldn't buy this one again. I think it's a little bit too much for what I'm looking for in a tequila. This one over here is $120, and I'm gonna tell you about it in just a sec here. Okay, so crazy sweet, vanilla, almost like a bubblegum forward on the nose. You do get a little bit of oak. It is an anejo that's been filtered to remove all the color. That's why it's called the Cristalino, as I said earlier. But just like Clase Azul, that agave pulp really adds a sweetness, a nice viscosity, literally hubba bubba and vanilla kind of notes, the notes that you would get chewing hubba bubba gum. Or even double bubble, actually, maybe more specifically. I'm not sure if double bubble is a Canadian thing, but growing up when I was younger, double bubble came with like a little comic. They're all individually packaged. That's kind of what I'm getting here. Delicious. Honestly, $120 at the LCBO. Much cheaper elsewhere. I believe it's like in the 90s in Alberta, and some places you can get that on sale. You're looking at about $90 all in shipped. So for that reason, I got to give this one an 88. I would definitely buy that again. I know as a whiskey purist, I can empathize with the tequila purist, and you know, they probably would hate me for really enjoying this one. But I'm a big Clase Azul fan, and it's become out of range, out of price. This is much cheaper than the Clase Azul at $120, and in my opinion, just as good, if not maybe even better. So like I said, that's got to be an 88. This one over here is an 80. I do like the Reposado Casamigos better, I gotta say that. So maybe I would lean toward buying the Reposado next time as opposed to buying the Anejo, and I'll buy the Herradura Ultra all day, every day, because it's absolutely delicious. Hope you like this, guys. I know it's changing it up, but the weather's getting warm here in Canada, so or at least in Southern Ontario. So I thought it would be cool to do a little bit of a different review today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and you can support this channel on Patreon. Cheers.
Time to pick your own